Good day, folks. Welcome to Just Omer. And my name is Omer Ahern Jr. And this is my periodic presentation of what's going on at the Grafton County government here in Grafton County, New Hampshire. I want to thank the folks here at PBTV for allowing me this opportunity to make this information available to you folks out in the public. I am the District 3 Grafton County Commissioner, representing the towns on the eastern and southern part of Grafton County, lower eastern part, up to Warren and Campton and over to Groton and Dorchester and over to Canaan and Bristol and Ashland, Holderness, I think I said Campton, and of course Plymouth and Hebron, Wentworth, and all the towns in between. I serve with two other commissioners, the District 1 County Commissioner, who is the chairperson of the Grafton County Commissioners for this term, Wendy Piper. She's from the town of Enfield. District 1 comprises of the towns of Enfield, Lebanon, and Hanover. And then we also serve with Commissioner Linda Lauer, and she serves District 2. Actually, we all serve the county as a whole, but we're elected from our districts. And so Commissioner Lauer is elected from District 2, which is comprised of the northern towns and the western towns north of Hanover here in Grafton County. And Commissioner Lauer is a veteran of the United States Navy, and we thank her for her service. We meet pretty much every week, once a week, on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock up at the county complex in North Haverhill, New Hampshire. We meet on the second floor in the Commissioners' Conference Room. These meetings are open to the public, except for those part of the meetings where we have to discuss things in non-public session in accordance with the allowances under New Hampshire RSA 91-A:3, the non-public meeting law here in New Hampshire. Again, the Grafton County home, the Grafton County facility up in North Haverhill is one of 10 facilities throughout the state of New Hampshire. In fact, I think there's 2 up in Coos County. And at the and what the county commissioners' responsibilities include is the operations of a county nursing home, and we have a 135-bed nursing home here in Grafton County, up in North Haverhill. We also are responsible for operating a correctional facility, the Department of Corrections. We have a 150-bed correctional facility up there in North Haverhill. We also have one of the last farm operations for a county home, a county operation here in New Hampshire. We're the last county in New Hampshire to still have an active, very viable dairy operation. We sell our milk mostly from Holstein cows to Agrimark, and the last figure that I have is the last yearly or annual or fiscal year income for the dairy operation was about $325,000. Now that doesn't cover all the expenses on the farm, but that's a pretty good revenue stream into the county. And we also do plant vegetables. We have we have about 75 acres of vegetable fields up there in North Haverhill. A lot of it's along the Connecticut River, some outstanding agricultural land where we can grow, we grow potatoes, we grow winter squash, pumpkins, and up until 2 years ago, due to COVID and the courts not being able to meet as they normally do, we haven't had the inmate labor available to us. But normally we grow whole panoply of vegetables: summer squash, zucchini, tomatoes, cucumbers, string beans, beets, carrots, peppers, and occasionally rutabagas. So the counties have been, the county farm operations, the county home, and the county houses of correction are mandated by state statute, and that state statute goes back to the 1870s. And so we provide, I believe, very important service, especially in the nursing home and the house of correction. And the farm originally is designed, and still does to some extent, provide the food for the inmates in the house of correction and the residents in the nursing home and the staff members. So, as I said, the Grafton County Commissioners meet on a regular basis, normally once a week on Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock up in North Haverhill. And I'm going to mention and talk a little bit about the meeting on October 11th. And again, that meeting started at 9 o'clock. Now, if anyone is interested in attending one of those meetings, you can attend certainly in person, but you can also arrange to see the meeting via Zoom. All you need to do is call the County Commissioner's office, talk with Samantha Norcross. She's our administrative assistant. And if you tell her that you would like to listen in on the Commissioner's meeting, and actually if you're there and you want to have a chance to ask questions or make a comment to the Commissioners, you're certainly welcome to do that. There is an opportunity for you to raise your hand and be recognized by Commissioner Piper, the chairperson. So, give a call up there if you're interested, and then Sam can then make that link available to you. And I think the link is also available as long as we know that people want to watch the meetings via Zoom on the Grafton County website. And that's where the minutes, the county commissioner meeting minutes are on file, is on our website. So go there and you can find the telephone number for the Grafton County Commissioner's office there if you want to call to let people know that you want to attend the meeting via Zoom. So our meeting on October 11th started out with of course, we always start out with a Pledge of Allegiance. And on that meeting, the first item on the agenda after the Pledge of Allegiance to our nation's flag, Karen Clough, the Human Resource Director, and Craig Labor, the Nursing Home Administrator, made a presentation that needed to be explained to the county commissioners, to be brought to the commissioner's attention, because it was dealing with a county employee. It had to be discussed in non-public session. So that was the first item on the agenda, to discuss that matter in non-public session, which we did do, and we took appropriate action based upon that. The next item was before Mr. Labor, a graduate of St. Anselm's College, by the way. Before Mr. Labor left the meeting, he did give us an update that on August 31st, the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services announced that the Public Health Laboratory would no longer process COVID-19 testing samples for the nursing home staff, or any nursing home staff here in New Hampshire. Mr. Labor explained that this went into effect on September 15th, and in order to remain in compliance with the CDC and the CMS, the Center for Disease Control, and CMS is the Council on Medicare and Medicaid Services. In order to be in compliance with CDC and CMS outbreak testing requirements, Grafton County Nursing Home needs to partner with an independent laboratory to process the COVID-19 tests that are required to be done due to an outbreak of COVID-19 in the nursing home. Nursing Home Administrator Labor stated that the nursing home has solicited prices from 4 independent laboratories and received 2 responses, and one from Dartmouth Health, and they quoted $76 per test, and the other respondent was Mako Medical Laboratories, and their price per test was $85. Mr. Labor recommended accepting the quote from Dartmouth Health, and noting that Dartmouth Health is a Grafton County employer, or an employer within Grafton County. The commissioners voted to accept that bid or quote from Dartmouth Health to do the COVID-19 testing in the nursing home, for nursing home residents and for our nursing home staff, and any support staff like the staff in the kitchen and the dining room, and staff from the maintenance department who might be working in the nursing home. Our next person on the agenda was the county attorney, Marcy Hornick, and again, she had an issue that needed to be discussed in non-public, so we again went into non-public to discuss the issue that the county attorney wished to discuss with us. Then after that, that was the only item that the county attorney wanted to talk with. The county administrator, Julie Libby, then submitted to the commissioners a safety manual for the county complex, and asked the commissioners to sign off on it. And Commissioner Ahern, that's me, I asked for a paper copy of that manual and asked some other questions. And essentially, these were additions to and some necessary modifications to the existing safety manual for the county complex. The next item was to discuss the probation and parole lease renewal. This is with the state of New Hampshire Probation and Parole Board, and they have offices in the county courthouse, which is also on the Grafton County complex up there in North Haverhill. And they were only looking for a 2-year lease because we don't know, the state doesn't necessarily know where things are going to be going. And in fact, that is an issue that was actually discussed this week, yesterday, at the Grafton County Commissioners meeting yesterday, Tuesday, the 18th, I believe that was the 18th of October. So we approved that 2-year lease. We will be getting an increase in what the state pays to utilize our space there in the courthouse, and we have asked that the state pay a 5% increase on this new two-year lease, but we're not quite sure if that is going to be totally acceptable to the state. But we know that there's going to be a lease. It's just a matter of how much, whether it's going to be a 2% increase, 3%, 4%, or 5% increase as requested by the county. There was also a bit of a discussion about the county courthouse, and again, the condition on it. I've mentioned that before, and again, here is a copy of the architectural and engineering assessment report, which was done on the Grafton County Courthouse, and it was submitted to the commissioners and the delegation executive committee on May 10th, 2021, and quite a proposal. And this report looked into either renovating, repairing our existing courthouse, which has been in use, been present on the complex as it is for about the last 50 plus years, or should the county build a brand new courthouse facility. And then if we build a new facility, the question is, is the state still going to be willing to provide, the Superior Court services there, judges and jury trials, and, still want to have probation and parole services there. And they also do a few things with licensing there and motor vehicle licensing, testing, and so on and so forth. And in fact, there was a meeting held yesterday afternoon at the Grafton County complex with to discuss what should the county do, what should Grafton County do with this issue of either building a new courthouse and whether we are going to build it on the existing campus there in North Haverhill, or whether we should, after discussions with the state judicial system, the state of New Hampshire, and the Grafton County Bar Association, because the Grafton County Bar Association, the attorneys, they need to have some space in there so they can meet with their clients before court, during court recesses, and so on. So we got to make sure that the people that are going to be utilizing the court facilities, civil cases, criminal cases, that their legal representatives can meet with them in a safe and confidential environment. Also, the Sheriff's Department has offices in the county courthouse. The dispatch center has offices and has their dispatch center is in the county courthouse. The circuit court, the North Haverhill, Woodsville Circuit Court, their court rooms and offices, and the probate court are also in that county courthouse. So, one of the things that we had a discussion with yesterday with the county maintenance supervisor, Jim Oakes, was all of the issues that we have with all the technological things that have changed over the last 50 years, and some things, HVAC things, and they tend to wear out and break down over time. And so we're constantly now making repairs to the water system, to the HVAC system, to electrical system. The elevators are really a real concern for us at the county. We just want to make sure that the elevators don't break down when somebody is in between floors, because we've been told by our maintenance department that some of the parts for these elevators are no longer being produced. And so if some of those parts need to be replaced, we're not sure where we're going to be able to find the parts to replace it. So the county courthouse situation is going to be an ongoing matter, and we're going to be looking into that going forward. And certainly if anybody has any questions, any suggestions about where the county courthouse might want to be set, certainly let me know. Let your state representatives know. Definitely, this is an election season coming up. We've got an election coming up in a couple, 3 weeks, and you need to let your elected representatives know what is on your mind, what you think should happen as a constituent. So let your elected officials know, and find out from those people running for office, for county commissioner, for state rep, for state senate, what your concerns are, what your feelings are, what your suggestions are, especially with regard to the county courthouse. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that the county funds, and sometimes working with these folks, sometimes the federal government provides some money, and because of the COVID-19 situation, ARPA money being made available, the county actually received some money, $288,665.25. This year and next year, so 2 times, $288,665.25 through the Tribal Consistency Fund. The Local Assistance and Tribal Consistency Fund, LATCF, and this money can be used for any governmental purpose except for lobbying activity. So that's kind of some unexpected revenue for Grafton County. And then the last item we talked about was we still have some ARPA money that has been originally sent to the county, Grafton County, and we're looking into how best we can use those ARPA funds. There is no requirement that we spend any of those ARPA funds. Those are taxpayer dollars. They're made available for stated purposes that come to us from the federal government. And our county administrator, Julie Libby, is very much aware of what those requirements are. And they're something that are limited. We can't use those ARPA funds to provide ongoing salaries for people, nursing or Department of Corrections. We were able to use some of that money for bonuses and for critical care people when we were still dealing with COVID, but that cannot be an ongoing thing. What we're finding that we can use the money is for one-time purchases that are not a repeat purchase, and things that we couldn't do during COVID, and we didn't have the money because of COVID, and so these types of purchases would be okay. But whatever we purchase, it is going to be looked at very, very carefully and diligently by the folks in Washington, D.C., who are looking out for those ARPA funds. The next time, so the county commissioners also met on yesterday, October 18th, and we started out again with the Pledge of Allegiance at 9 o'clock, and then we had the first substantive item was Jim Oakes, the maintenance superintendent. And as I've shown you in the past, Jim always provides us with a very detailed report to the Grafton County Commissioners. And starts out, so his report discusses, and again, this is all available, or this report will be available within a couple of weeks on the county website. All of the previous reports that Jim has made to the county commissioners are also on the county website. So the first item on his report and this is from August 22nd to October 17th. First item is discussing the complex in general and talking, number one, about the building automation system, BAS, the Building Automation System Project, which is about 99% completed. We're working with Alliance Building Automation. And again, this is one of those things that I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in my discussion this morning, is there's just so many technological things going on there, and they wear out, they break down. And so this update and of the building automation system is something that's kind of an ongoing thing that we have to deal with. We had an unscheduled power outage on August 3rd. We get our electricity from Woodsville Water and Light, and we are trying to figure out a way to produce our own electricity at the county, whether it's solar or atomic powered generators. The county is looking into that. The next thing was the water system, the supervisory control and data acquisition. This is a category of software applications for controlling industrial processes, which gathers data in real time, and that's what the maintenance department needs that information as they continue to work to provide the type of clean, drinkable water for our residents and our staff. Jim talked about the boiler and pressure vessel inspections that we had. The feds and the state are constantly coming up to the facility, as they are everywhere, doing their inspections. So he gave us a report on that. We had our catch basins cleaned out by Belmore Basin Cleaners out of southern New Hampshire. And I'll tell you, the cost of having our basins, catch basins cleaned out, I was just so shocked when I saw the cost of that and the cost of just having them drive up to provide that. But there are not many vendors in this area, according to Jim, our maintenance supervisor. And discussed transitioning from one trash and recycling outfit to another waste management system. And there was no incident, no issues in transferring from one outfit to the other. We talked about generators and automatic transfer switches. Then talked about the status of different ARPA projects. What's going on at the courthouse, preventative maintenance, the HVAC system, which I started to discuss a little bit, the issues at dispatch. The kitchen faucet is leaking in the dispatch center. So the maintenance department has to go in and fix that. They did recarpet the entrance with some ARPA money because the hydraulic, no, this is a carport entrance. Excuse me, my vision doesn't always work too well. So the carport entrance, that's the issue. The hydraulic door closer failed, and so they had to replace that. Issues with the elevator, as I discussed earlier. The car stuck on the bottom floor with the doors open. Stanley Elevator did come in and replaced a worn interlock roller. Preventive maintenance in the nursing home, lighting, and I'm running out of time. So there's just a lot of things that we look at as county commissioners, and there's just a lot of things for us to do. Here in Plymouth, one quick thing, the New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources has placed the lower Intervale Grange building on the road from Plymouth to Ashland on the list of historical resources here for the state of New Hampshire. Then the county administrator did a very extensive financial review with the county commissioners, revenue, expenses, where we are in the budget process, appropriation controls, and overexpended line items, and which parts of the county are ahead of revenue. So just a lot of things going on. I thank you for your time. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of me at my office in Wentworth, 603-764-6024. Get a hold of me via email, omer.ahern.jr@gmail.com. And again, I want to thank the folks here at PBTV for allowing me to make these reports to you. And I thank you folks for taking the time to listen to me. And again, a lot of this information is available ultimately on the county commissioner and the county website. God bless the United States of America, and God bless the Granite State of New Hampshire. Thank you. Take care.